These right here are absolutely great right here. It's I'm not even a big wine drinker.
Yeah.
But this right here is not too sweet. It's not too bitter. Like it's just the perfect mix. So I really shout out to Nakia.
That's my big sister or whatnot. And like I said, I don't be biased. I don't care what y'all say. It's the best wine in the world. And not even just that, like that 14% hit you.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm slurring my words on stage. Coming to the stage, we got what's your name again?
It's the Wine and Dine South Euclid Wine Festival, guys. If you're in the city of Cleveland, please come out. MCing will be B Titty. Also, it will be music. It will be obviously wine, and it will also be great food right about the 4 Bistro and whatnot. So listen, August 31st, you guys, make sure you're here. So, and also looking for vendors. If you want to be a vendor, please let us know or whatnot. You have until July 26th, so please let us know in the comments, okay?
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Pull-Up Experience. We have yet again another great one for you.
Yes, come on now.
Another good one. It just gets gooder and gooder.
It gets gooder and gooder, that's right.
It gets gooder and gooder, you know what I mean? Of course, you're your regular smegular, not your average agent. Your girl Britt, but more importantly, you guys, we have Miss Tiara Leftwich, the Cake Mama of 216, the original. Okay, Cake Diva is what I want to call her. Okay. And she probably goes by many names, but she's the one that's really, taking the cake game by storm. If you want to get your occasion together,
a Cleveland legend,
this is the girl to see. So welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you,
excited
girl.
to be here.
Yes.
So I got to ask you, and we start for every episode the same way, but we got Cleveland born and raised, right?
Yes.
If you got to represent the hood, what part of Cleveland represent?
So, a fun fact about me, it's hard for me to say that because I never lived in one place more than a year. I've been in 13 schools throughout my life. I never lived anywhere too long. So I really can't say. And then it's not like we moved in the same area. We have moved from side of town to this side of town, from this hood to this. I lived a little bit of everywhere, so I really don't claim nowhere.
I got you.
So I can't say I'm just from Cleveland.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It's a little unique then.
Yeah.
I've never had somebody that had that many.
A different school every grade.
So you know a lot of people.
You know a lot of people.
That's dope. So let's ask this. So was the cupcake? Were you always that kid in the kitchen with the mixes or whatnot? Or was that something that gravitated later on in life?
Absolutely not. I never. If you would have asked me, I would have never saw this being my thing for my life. I never cooked. I wasn't a baker.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with my grandma in the kitchen. My grandma don't cook. I never seen my grandmother in the kitchen. My mother, I never was in the kitchen. So this came about out of like necessity, I think. So it wasn't like a lifelong dream of mine or something. I always knew I was gonna be a baker. No, I was broke. I needed some money. I was like, what can I do? And that's how it started. I went on YouTube, and I was on YouTube looking up how to make bracelets, like those copper jewelry, because that was gonna be my thing. So I'm watching tutorials. Now, and I saw this lady. She made these cupcakes that looked like high heel shoes. I'm like, dude, that looked kind of cool. So I clicked on that and I watched that and I watched another one, and that's what kind of put it in my mind. So I kind of just started trying to learn. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I can do this, and I made these like Oreo cupcakes. I'm a big researcher, so I started looking up recipes and stuff, and I made these cupcakes for a family dinner, and it was on from there.
It was on from there.
Yeah.
So mention, but those first iterations though, I'm pretty sure the first iterations weren't where you wanted them to be.
Oh no, no. And looking back, I mean, I was proud because that's all I had to offer. I was proud. But looking back now, I'd be like, oh, delete that. Oh, and I was hollering like my cat. I would post up on the internet and I'd be like, Betty who? And then like Betty Cracker, Betty who? And then it was just like, that's so bad.
Yeah, looking back now, right? But in that moment, you're like, I'm doing it.
I thought I was doing big things, and I just kind of started. I never thought it was gonna go as far as it did either. So I made a cake for my son who is 13 now. I made his second birthday cake. And I was at my 9 to 5 at this time, and I spent all day. I wasn't doing no work. They was paying me to learn how to make cakes because I was on Google, I was on YouTube. I printed a little binder, and I was just like learning everything. And I made this cake. It was like a Cowboys and Indians. The cake was not bad, believe it or not. Like it looked okay, and I posted it, and then somebody had commented like, "Would you be able to make one for my son?" And I was like, "What? What you mean?" I charged this lady $20 for the cake. It was a $20, and right now, current day, if I was to sell that, it'd be in the upper about $375. So she got a good deal.
She got a great deal.
That's
a steal deal.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, she it was a 2-tier Spider-Man cake. It took me 18 hours to do that cake.
Ooh.
18 hours.
We're talking about, you said 18 tower? Like, we talking
No, it was 2 tiers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like,
18 hours.
oh, I'm
to
sure.
create
I'm
it.
sure.
For $20.
I made it
Oh, wow.
close to the hour. So yeah. But you know, over time my speed increased and my skill increased. But yeah, so that's how it started. I made that and then posted it, and then I made something else and posted it, and people started asking. So I was like, "Y'all sure?" Yeah. So that was cool. It was cool. It's cool to look back on because I always get people messaging me and asking me, I want to be a baker. Can you give me any advice? And I just tell them, just do it. You know, you can think about it. You can sit around and say, I got to get this tool first, or I need to get this first, or I need to do this first. Just do it. You know, and with the experience, you'll get that experience. It's nothing like trial and error. I could tell you 100 times, but until you do it yourself, that way you know what you did, what you can do differently, and what you need to do better going forward. Because even now, still, every time I do something new that I'm not familiar with, I use it as a learning experience, and I'm very upfront. People ask me to do stuff, and I'll be like, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't never did that, but I'm happy to try. And then going forward, I feel a little bit more confident. So I feel like it's nothing like just getting in there, doing it, and not being afraid to mess up. Because that used to be my thing. I used to always tell my fiance, like, she wants me to do X, Y, and Z. What if I mess up? What if she hated it? Be like, I was upfront. She know I'm new. And if you mess up, so what? Then next time going forward what to do different. So I'm not afraid to mess up. So that's another good piece of advice.
Come on now. I hope y'all taking notes, because that's good right there.
Don't be afraid to mess up.
That's a golden nugget right
I am deserved a lot of butt whoopings. If I look it back, that girl should have whooped my butt when I dropped that cake off to her. But you couldn't tell me back then. I didn't know. I ain't know better. But they was happy. And of course the price was matching it. So I guess they couldn't be too mad.
True.
Yeah.
And that's good, because I know everybody wants to come out the womb like, I mastered this joint.
Yeah.
Like, what? No. I look back at our first podcast episode. I remember some ain't got no audio. We the pictures all bad or whatnot. I look back like, but like you said, it comes with time though.
And that's the problem with the internet. I believe the internet makes people think that professionals or people that have like a skill set people have a way of glamorizing it. And I'm not like that. I go on my page and I'm raw. I'm like, I show my behind the scenes, and like I'll go live and I'll be struggling through a cake with the people that's watching. The internet makes you think, because you just see snippets. You see the good things. You see the good parts. You don't see, I had to rebake this strawberry cake. This is real stuff. This past weekend, I had to rebake it 3 times because it kept sinking. The recipe, I was doing something wrong. I don't know. I think I was using too much strawberry, but it was sinking. But of course, when I go and put my little video on my page and I'm showing this cake, I didn't show that I had to scrap 3 before that. So the internet has people thinking you have to be good, that everybody got it all together, and that's just not true. Right. It's not true. It's just all smoke and mirrors and make it look good.
Yeah. Did that twice for that. I love the fact that you put in there, you said, I am self-taught. Like, I think, once again, people are not taking the time out to learn something new. Or I know, I remember when we started the whole pull-up experience and whatnot. At that time, I was, 35, right? And I'm like, man, I'm too old for this, right? But you can never be too old to learn something new. You know what I'm saying?
Never too old. I think the fact that when I started, how long has it been? About 12 years now, I think. 11 or 12 years, something like that. It was just a few people in the city doing it. It was just, maybe I can think of 3 people who was doing this. So, and everybody just wasn't open arms sharing and giving like they are now. You know, you got TikToks and you got Reels and you got tutorials. People wasn't doing that. People was so I brand new in the game, not knowing nothing. I was like people do me. I was asking questions, messaging people, hey, do you mind if you could tell me how to do X, Y, Z? And I got ignored. Only one person, and am I allowed to say her name? There was one Cleveland baker. Her name is Party Charms, but I want to say she retired. I reached out to her and I asked her if she could help me with pricing because I said, you know, I'm doing these cakes. I'm working so many hours on them and I'm just feeling like I'm not making no money. And she went through my page and she sent me a bunch of my cakes and say, this is what you should charge for this. This is what you should charge for that. And it kind of put it into perspective. And then after she told me that, I'm like, I need to know how to justify why am I charging that much. So I did take a class with a lady who did like a business pricing class for bakers, and I took that class. So that was one of the only ones I took. But I definitely had to just get in there and learn because nobody is helping. Nobody was helping. And I was like, if I'm gonna do this, which I had at that point I made up my mind, this is something that I want to do. I have to take it serious. Yeah. Because it's only gonna get as good as I want it to. Yeah. So I bought a bunch of stuff like just to practice with. Because bless you, the orders weren't rolling in like that, like crazy. So it was like I wanted to be prepared. So I knew I kind of put my ear to the ground, like, okay, this is what's trending. Let me get on top of that. So I started practicing. And then of course, as the orders come in, the more orders, I get more comfortable with the mediums and the different techniques and stuff. But yeah, I had to teach myself because people was not trying to help. And I mean, although you had YouTube was big back then. YouTube and Google, it's only so much you can learn off of YouTube and Google. So yeah, I just had to and when I say self-taught, I know some people be saying that I've taken, besides the business pricing class, I took 2 other classes in my life and they both were from the same person, this guy Timbo out of Columbus. And it was like hyper realistic cakes because that's something that I want to get into. And that's a different skill set on its own. I can make you a pretty 45 tiered wedding cake in my sleep, but like sculpting people and making stuff actually looking like something else is something that is just a skill I did not have, and I'm still kind of honing in on it. So I did take 2 classes, but other than that, yeah, self-taught.
Wow. And like, so I remember I was watching an interview from Michael Jordan, right? And I remember he was talking about how, you know, after he mastered one thing, he was trying to master the next thing. Do you feel like where you are in your career, that you're trying to do? Because, like you said, you got the tier cakes. Now you said are you trying to find the next challenge on to the next level, whatnot?
Yes. So, and what's hard is people buy what they see. So, my page, you'll go on there and you'll see cakes that stacked on top of each other. So that's what people in their mind. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. So that's all they order from me. So day in and day out, I'm making pretty stacked cakes that stacked on top of each other. So I have that. I can do that, like I said, in my sleep. So now I want to get into the more sculpted cakes, like sneaker cakes and things that are shaped like other things. So that's my next goal to master. And also, when people don't realize what is a skill is like painting, texture, painting. So I can make a pizza. It'll look like a piece of pizza drawn. I want to make it look real, so I got to learn how to paint and shading. So that's where I'm trying to go now, so that I can put more of that content out, so people could come to me for that. Because right now people are not coming to me for that because obviously I'm not showing it. And like once they see it, I think they might, and that way I'll start getting more comfortable with it, doing it more because I'll have to. Because like if somebody paid me for this order, I have to do it, as opposed to me saying, I want to practice this. That's where the discipline come in. I have to be like, I don't really have to. I'll put it on the back burner. So yeah, that's my next step. It's always progression. What can I do better? What can I do different? What could I bring that nobody else is bringing? Because it's competitive. It was just a few. Now it's a bunch. It's a bunch of people that they can be supporting and giving their dollars to. So I want to stay competitive and fresh and interested. So always progressing.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah. So when did you decide to take your passion, because now this became something of a passion, and make it more purpose filled? So now it's like, okay, I want to really start this and really do this business thing. Like where did that kind of take place?
I was working my job, my corporate job all the way until 2018 is when I stopped and said, you know, I'm going to do this full time. So I was working cakes, like a full time 9 to 5, and I would come home and I would do cakes at night and on the weekends. And I did that for a couple of years from 2012 to 2018. And it was when I realized, like, I can make money independent of this job. And it kind of got to the point, I don't need y'all. Stop talking to me. Like my boss would come and it's like, and she was something else, and I was to the point I'm like crying when I was going into work because I was so unhappy there, and all I could think about was getting home and just working on my orders, and I'm taking orders while I'm at work. I'm researching techniques at work, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. Yeah. So I made the decision that if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And my fiance, he will always say, well, if this is, because I ran it by him, like, what do you feel about me quitting the job? And he's like, if you're gonna do it, then you have to do it. You gotta, you can't, if that's gonna be your income, you can't be like, okay, I don't feel like doing it and I'm going back to work. You gotta commit to it. So I committed to it in 2018 and I haven't looked back. Yeah, so now it's like, but on the other end of that, before when I was working my job, I always knew if I don't feel like being bothered with nobody, I don't have to take orders because I got my money coming in from my job. Right. Now,
you gotta fall back.
I can't. I don't have that, and it became. And I was doing cakes because I wanted to. It was like, oh, I'm so excited. I want to know what I'm gonna get to do next. Now that is my job. It does give it a different feeling because when something becomes work, it's work now. Yeah. So while I still love doing it, I still love making cakes, and I still get excited. It kind of is. It feels like a job now, if that makes sense. So that's why I like to challenge myself and learn new things and do new things to keep it fresh. So it's not just daunting, like, oh gosh, gotta crank out these orders, gotta pay the bills. No, so it's important to find that balance. So that's why I like to do things that I like to do. And people think it's funny when I tell them, here's a list of things that I do not offer. And I got a pretty lengthy list of things that I do not offer.
You got a list that you're a list.
Oh yeah.
Let me hit that one time.
Oh yeah. I have a list of about maybe 15 things that I do not offer. Yeah. And it's because of that. I don't want to get miserable doing it. And like people will run something into the ground. Yeah. And like I said, people buy what they see. And at one point, Coco Melon hit the scene like crack in the 80s. And when I say I was doing 5 Coco Melon cakes a week, it got to the point I was so burnt out. I was like, I can't do it no more. I'm going back to work. I'm getting a job. I can't do this no more. So I put that on the list. I had to take away those things that made it unbearable. Yeah. Because it gets like that. I mean, people think, oh, you get to play and cake all day. It's my job. Yeah. And it's like if you eat the same thing all day, every day, you get sick of it. And if you can't stomach it no more, and you can't even stand the sight of it. So in order to try to avoid that burnout, because that's what it was created, I had to take control of and I have that. I'm fortunate enough that I have that, that I'm able to do that right now, be a little bit more selective, because there was a point in time I had to take every order I got. Yeah. And I was doing stuff like, I'll be like, what the heck am I doing this for? Why did I agree to this? But now I'm at the point where I'm a little bit more comfortable, and I was able to get my pricing where I need to get it at, where I can earn enough where I don't have to take every order that came through. I can be very selective.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
That's good. And I'm gonna ask you more some of the items on the list or whatnot. Just gonna say them all, but I know Coco Melon. I can see Coco Melon.
Yeah, for sure. Coco Melon, Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
And only because I did this. You might think I'm joking. I did one Minecraft cake and I got tendinitis. Like I got something wrong. Like it because it's those little piping every square different color. Yeah. So I put that on there, and I also stopped offering like those turnip cakes because. Like it would be.
Yeah, you like got PTSD when you saw them.
What a turnip cake is, and I kind of coined the term because I became known for them. It would be like you would take a full size bottle of something, whatever you want. And it has chocolate covered strawberries and then little shots of liquor all over it. And I kind of got stuck there. Like I started noticing I was getting a certain type of client, and these certain type of clients like scam. And then it was like, why am I getting these type of clients? And I wanted to focus. And then at that point, I wanted to do more like wedding orders, pretty orders. And I was just doing Hennessy cakes every day, all day. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So I took them off, and I did get a shift in the clientele, which I was trying to do. So yeah, and but a lot of themes that take like a lot of colors, like rainbow colors, like trolls and stuff like that. I just kind of like, I'm not doing that no more. I've done that already. I'm not mixing 18 different colors for one cake. And so yeah, stuff like that.
I got you.
Okay. Yep.
So imagine this. So, and I don't think a lot of people think about the logistics of it all, right? Because they look at the pretty cake, but let's say they have an order that's takes a little bit distance to get to you.
Yeah.
People don't take into consideration. I'm pretty sure we don't think about it, especially newcomers and whatnot. We'll talk about that because like the business behind it all. Like I don't think a lot of people understand that. It's one thing they do the artistry, but it's another to do the business behind it.
Yeah. So Brandon, who is my fiance, he always say, people think you just pop cakes out your ass. And it's not and it's not so simple. It's never that simple.
Yeah.
So someone will call me like, oh sis, I need a cake for tomorrow. I know I'm last minute, and I'll be like, and then to them, it's just like, oh, it's just a cake. Why can't you do it? But what you don't understand is, first of all, you got every order that you see. And I did a breakdown like this, and people could not believe it. I had made a cake, and I said, tell me how many stores you think I had to go to produce this cake. They don't understand. You got to shop for. First, you got to plan it, and then research it. Especially if it's a cake where something I've never done before. It's research. Then I got to shop for it. Then I got to bake it, and you can't bake the same day that you make the cake, and you got to let it settle. So then you got to it's just a lot of moving parts to it, which people don't understand. And again, I blame the internet. Because they see you in 30 seconds make a cake from nothing, and then you got this big masterpiece at the end of the 30-second clip. But also, they have these high expectations because to them it's just cake. But stuff costs a lot of money. Yeah. It takes a lot. And then you have to pay for someone's skill as well. So time. My biggest thing when I have a formula is how I get my pricing for my cakes. Yeah, the supplies and everything, because that can add up. But also, how long it takes me. I have to bill for my time, and then you got your overhead or everything, which people don't. Some people get, some people don't. Like, why should I have to pay for your business insurance? Well, So people don't get the business side of it, and they don't. And I've had people ask, "Oh, can you give me a breakdown why it costs this much?" And I'm happy to, because I'm not playing with you.
Come on.
But I'm happy to tell you why it costs this much. And then
break it down.
Yeah, they'd be like, well, "Why do I have to pay a cleanup fee?" Well, because I have to mess up to make your order. So I need to. Well, if I didn't have to make your cake, I wouldn't be having to clean up behind it. So it's just little things like that. But people don't know a lot of the behind the scenes, and that's why I love where social media is going to an extent, because people are sharing a lot more. The behind the scenes, the ugly side of baking and whatever, not just baking, but I do love that because people get a better appreciation. I remember I made a video of me. It was like live a life in the day of a baker with me, and then I took them doing all my runs to all the stores I went to, and then I went home and I baked, and then I had to prep the cakes and wrap them and get them ready for the next day, and I started making frosting, and they like, wow, that's not, I would have been asleep halfway through that. People can now kind of get a better idea of what all goes into it, and I think that helps them get a better appreciation. Not everybody, but it does give a better look into why things cost the way they do, or why we have these requirements, because they think because you make guidelines or expectations for your business that it's just people nitpicking. But I feel like with every rule of business have, it became a rule because of something. For sure. Something that somebody done. Yeah. So, and it's a shame that you have to have rules like, please come at the time we agreed on. Because
it's the common sense rules, right?
And that's the biggest thing I struggle with to this day. Like, people don't understand. I've already spent and my fiance can vouch for me. On Friday night, Thursday night I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up Friday. I don't go to sleep again till Sunday. So I might take an hour nap here or there, but I have kids who I got to tend to, and so I don't get to sleep. I wake up Friday morning. I work on cakes all day. That's going to get picked up either Friday or Saturday. I work throughout the night to finish those cakes, and then by that time it's Saturday, and people, like, I give them a time frame. I don't pick the times. I give my clients the opportunity to pick the times. Tell me what time you like to come. I let them know, please respect my time. And then I'm still waiting 4 hours after the pickup time, 3 hours after the pickup time. And then by that time, it's time for me to get back started on orders for the next day. So people don't understand why the rules are rules.
You apply a late fee to them joints.
Yeah, I was
I
just
was thinking, I say that, but I don't have a heart to. I was like, if you don't come, I'm gonna give you a 15-minute grace period. It's a late fee. I've never in my life charged a late fee. I need to because I do spend hours waiting.
Yeah,
sometimes crazy. Longer than I worked on the cake. I'm waiting for you. Yeah. So.
Oh no. I've had a position where I was working in the bakery, right? And I didn't realize icing how the cost.
Yeah.
But then secondly, like that makes a difference in pricing because like the amount of icing I use for that joint makes the difference in that joint, right? Strawberries.
Yeah.
The type. The type, right? Buttercream and what's the other one? I can't remember them all.
It's a lot, but I use a couple different types. The kind that I use is Swiss meringue buttercream, and it's very expensive to make. I don't know if you remember a couple of months ago because it's egg based, so I use butter and eggs in it. And eggs went from, you could get a carton of eggs from 79 cents to I was paying $6 for eggs. So, and I did not raise my pricing during that time. I took the L, which I should not have. That's bad business advice. Do not listen to me. But I wanted to just so people don't take into consideration, butter is so expensive. I think when I did my taxes, I did like an itemized thing and I spent almost like $6,000 in 1 year on butter from Sam's Club.
Oh, butter?
$6,000 on butter, nothing else. Because I use the butter that I buy is like $15 for the pack, and I normally buy about maybe a week. I think I buy about 7 or 8 packs of that $15 butter a week. So you do that, it can get up there, and then. Yeah, if you got to use a lot, you do have to. So I do, like I said, I got a little formula that I use. And I kind of try to guess this might take 1 batch of buttercream, so I'll bill for that. And sometimes it go a little over. But yeah, it's good. But icing, it does.
No, listen. Like I said, I don't think people understand.
It's those things that people
don't think about. No.
They just think, it's just cake. You don't know how many times I heard that. It's just cake. I go to Sam's Club and get it. I can pull up Sam's Club's buttercream recipe ingredient list because they sell it. There's no butter in it at all. How do you call it buttercream and there's no butter in it? I don't know what that stuff is, but yeah, you could go to Sam's Club and that's a choice. I always tell people that, and it's not to be like snarky or anything like that, but I understand it's the product that I provide. I consider a luxury product. So you could get a cake from the grocery store. You absolutely could, because at the end of the day, they both are cakes. But it's just like the experience, and it's so that I never want anybody to feel like, because that's our biggest thing in this industry. Why would I pay you this much when I can go to Sam's Club and get a cake for $14? You absolutely could, and that's your right. So I tell people that if you don't like the pricing, you could do that.
But there's a reason why they say why they look you up though,
And I want and obviously I would never ask that, but I do think that like you saw what I provide and you decided to contact me because you liked it and you wanted to have that, but then when I tell you how much it's cost, you want to insult me and kind of gaslight me into making me make it fit your budget because you don't see the value in it. Now they see the value in it, and then once you tell them how much it costs, they no longer see the value in it.
So let me ask you, because I want to navigate that, because I think it's some people who, hairstylists, people who have service-based businesses, they might have a problem navigating that portion of business. They don't know how to navigate the conversation of why their business is adding value. They just know I have a business, but to negotiate the pricing is a whole different thing or whatnot. What advice you give them?
You have to be, first of all, you have to be confident and know your pricing. So people always reach out to me, like I reached out to Flores, how do I price my cake? So what I had to do, and this is a part people don't like to do because it's daunting. I sat down and I wrote down every ingredient that I buy, everything that I use. I'm talking about down to the wax paper, paper towels. And I did a calculation for my smallest cake. How much of this butter, flour, sugar, milk do I use for this base recipe? And that's how I got my pricing. I found you have to know how much it costs you to do what you're doing. And that way, once you know that, that's automatically give you a little bit more confidence because I was undercharging when I went through that. and I did my numbers breakdown, I still know to this day I was charging, and it's so dumb. When people would contact me for a cake, I say I charge $40 per tier, just like that. So if you want a 4-tier cake, $40 per tier. If you want a 2-tier cake, it's gonna cost you $80. Each tier is significantly larger than the next.
Yeah.
So it's costing me where it would cost me $40 to make a 6-inch cake. I have to use double that to make an 8-inch cake.
Wow.
So it's going to actually cost me $80. And then if I go to a 10-inch, it's going to cost me more than that. But I'm charging everybody the same price per tier. So when I looked at broke down all the orders that I sent out the door, I was in the red so much. I was using the money from my 9 to 5 to pay to make cakes for people. So I was basically paying them to buy a cake for me because I wasn't making no profit.
Oh, no.
So that when I had that realization, that's when I really took it serious. Like, okay, you need to figure this out, because you can't be giving stuff away. I was either giving it away or selling, like paying them, giving them my money,
right?
Because you gave me $40 and I gave you a cake that cost me $112 to make. Yeah, and that's a big mistake I see a lot of the new bakers do. They run these crazy sales and they want to get, they just want to get customers. I get it. They're hungry. They want those customers. So they'll say, I'm running a sale. I'm doing these cakes for $50. And then I'll be like, I can look at it and do the math real quick. Now I'll be like, I know it cost her $109 to make that, but she's not making any profit. And then there's some times where I would feel like I want to reach out to this girl and I want to tell her, but you can't do that every time because people really they take it offensive.
Yeah.
Which I don't get it. Somebody trying to help you is not offensive. You should be thankful. I wish somebody reached out to me and said, stop selling them cakes for $40. But they didn't. Had they done that, I would have saved myself a lot of money. It's been many times I'll look at somebody and I'll be like, if she was to only do this will fix that. Because I can look at, like, I'm thinking of somebody in particular. It's a structural thing. That she does nice work, but it's a structural thing. And I want to reach out to her and I want to tell her, like, hey, this is what you need to do different. But I know it's not gonna go smooth. It's gonna come off, oh, you old and you a hater. That's what they think. They like to call you old. They call me, oh, she a hater. I'm making you intimidated. You worried about me. So I just be like, if they ask, I'm happy.
Bang your head.
I make it very clear. Y'all can ask me anything, but I'm not gonna just be reaching out to people no more. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let me ask you this: would you say in 2024 and beyond, is it more so understanding the business of the cake maker, or know how to make cakes that you need to know more of?
Honestly, right now, whatever you can make look good on the internet is what's moving. People don't care. I hate. So it's true. I know that a lot of people that's blowing up, and it's not that they doing anything spectacular, or it's they got that social media presence and they make it look good on social media. And people are such hype beasts. They just want to buy the hype. Yeah. So if you make it look good, I'm a person who I care about my recipes. I spend so much time getting my recipes right because people love to say, oh, those cakes look good. They don't taste good. Me, I'm the opposite. Like, I don't care if it don't look all that good. I want to make sure you can enjoy it. It tastes very good. I spend a lot of time on my recipes, a lot of money. I've invested a lot in them. When I do these tasting boxes, I spend days, weeks running test runs just to make sure everything tastes good. And
the kids, they probably love it.
My kids, they over it now. They don't my little one, she like, my son won't even touch it. The baby, he tell me that I'm not a good. I don't like mommy's cooking. He don't like it. But they over it. They've been eating cake forever. But yeah, if you make it look good, people will buy it. That's it. Don't even the business side, the actual putting that work, blood, sweat, and tears. They don't care.
But that's crazy because I'm thinking about retention. Like if it tastes good, I'm gonna come back. Like that cake was good.
When I run my numbers, I think my customers are normally last year I think I had like 83% of my clientele was return clients. So I have those clients that just come. I have those loyal clients that been with me from day one, and I honestly feel confident in saying this. Once somebody try me, they stay with me.
Come on now, tie that up somebody way. Tie up something right there. That's not right there. That's good.
I do feel confident in saying that. So I don't think that those people who don't put the work in are worried about customer retention. They're worried about making it look good. do. And then I welcome new customers, but yeah, so when and then new customers become return customers.
That's good.
Word of mouth. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good. So, Tiara, what would you say has helped to help with the growth of your business? Would you say it would be word of mouth? Would you say social media? Like, what would you say has been kind of like the staple for how you've been able to grow?
So I want to say when I first started was word of mouth because somebody would tell somebody about me and somebody would tell something about me. And I did get creative when I first started. I wanted to get my page going because I got my first website this year.
Really?
I had never had a business website. All I had was my Instagram. That was it. So I got my website.
Let me hit that one time because most people think you need to have all that.
No.
To start business or whatnot.
No.
You said this year.
This year, yes. I got my business website this year. I only was Instagram. That's all I had. So I did get creative. I'm going to do a giveaway if you share my page. I'll put your name in the drawing. So I did get creative to get that buzz going.
Yeah.
But people try it. They tell somebody else. They post it. So I use social media to my word of mouth. I use social media as my advertising. So so Instagram was like that was the most important part of it. I didn't even have a marketing strategy. I just posted it and I would use I like to stay current and see I do these things called Delulu cakes where I make cakes that are like in my delusion, if Drake called and ordered a cake, this is what I would make. So that get a lot of attention and they get a lot of eyes on you. And once you have those eyes on you, then I'll be like, okay, I'm dropping this sale. That's what I got coming out. So,
there you go.
So that's what I did. I use a little bit of social media and word of mouth.
Get them on the hook one time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now you hear me. Now come on, I'm about to drop these new flavors. Come on, get you this. Or I got a pop-up shop coming. So when I do plan that out, whenever I plan my Delulu cakes, I do roll those out around the time that I got something dropping.
Okay, that's smart strategy right there. Cause but I'm blown away the fact, like I said, most people that tell you they need the website, you have all this, you have all these places off the top or whatnot. And I always tell people start where you at, and grow from there. Just do it. Come on, man.
Like they'll tell you need to get this, you got to do this. Okay, so then people wait and I got to get my website done. I got to get these business cards done. I got to get this. I got to do that. Just do it. That stuff can come later. I got my website when I was already 11 years in the game. So, and not saying that it is not needed because and the only reason I got it is because I was invited to take part in something and she was like, I need your website. And I didn't even have headshots. She was like, I need you to send me your headshots and I need you to send me your website. And I was like, I don't have either one. So I had to hurry up and I put together a brand shoot and I Googled it and I'm on TikTok like, how do you do a brand shoot? And then I hired someone to do a website. And without, people will make you think, and that's just people, that's especially those, that's how they make their money. Like they make money off selling websites and selling these business startup kits with your EIN, which you get for free. And you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do this for you for this one low price of XYZ. When 9 times out of 10, you could do that for yourself for $99. And that's just another way people can get in their own way, just thinking you gotta have it all together before you start. You don't gotta have it all together. Just do it. Like it's so simple. Just do it. When I started, I was using stuff from Dollar Tree. I went and got me a scraper from Dollar Tree. I didn't even have a turntable. I'm not joking. I was using I would put the cake, I'd flip the strainer upside down. And I just set my cake on the strainer and just turned it a little bit. Like, I ain't have nothing.
That's dope, though. You know what I'm saying?
I love that you're transparent. I was Dollar Tree.
I was at Dollar Tree, and then now people selling the same spatula that I get from Dollar Tree, and they selling it for $40. Bruh, I know you got that, bro. I got the same one, but I ain't mad at me. Yeah, you don't have to have it all together. I got caught up in that, like, oh my goodness, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, and I need this, and then I got caught up in the hype spending all my money, which is another gem I like to tell people when they first starting out. Don't think you gotta buy all those new gadgets, and you don't gotta buy the latest this. Use what works, because the spatula that I use is the Wilton spatula that I got from Packatan's, and they closed now. It was $9.99. I bought it maybe 10 years ago, and I still use it to this day. I bought the self-heating spatulas, and I bought all those fancy ones, the cheap one, the reliable one. You don't got to buy all the fancy. I bought all these fondant rolling mats. Oh, this mat system you got to buy. And I remember I bought it off eBay, and I paid like $100 for it. and this came to me, and it was a piece of plastic, a square piece of plastic, and they advertise it as this will make your fondant so smooth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, got me. So you don't gotta buy all those new gadgets. You don't gotta buy the latest thing. Just use what you got until you get better. Yeah.
So I know I ain't title by now, but that's a good title right there.
Really good.
So let me ask you this: what keeps you motivated? Because as being in your 11th year or whatnot, what keeps you going? Because I'm pretty sure there's been days you be like, I want to give up the game.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
First of all, I don't want to end up on the shade room. And I know y'all, I say that all the time. What makes me put my best foot forward in everything I do not want to get dragged by nobody. I don't want no customer airing me out like, look what she gave me. Look at this mess she gave me. So I really do not want to get ate. I do not want nobody on there like calling me a fraud, telling me that, it's not worth it. So I really, I make it my business to make it worth it. Make the experience worth it. Make sure that what you hired me for, that's what you're going to get. It's not going to be no Shein, Temu type of thing. I don't want nobody to ever feel like I was playing in their face. So I do use that as a motivator. What else? And obviously, I mean, this is my income. This is my job. This job. I don't know if I'm oversharing, but this job allowed us to buy our house. You know, when I had my job, my 9 to 5, I tried to get a house and I got declined. And then I went back a couple years later with being cake as my job, and we got our house, a nice, beautiful house. And I want to make sure that I'm able, those things that we work for, I'm able to keep. So I have to take it serious. So that would keep me motivated. And also, my kids, they love to see me. My daughter is such a flexer, and it is so embarrassing. And she tell everybody, my mom is famous. And my mom had all these followers on TikTok, and my mom is this, that, and the third, and she love it. And it's her. My son too. They brag about it, and it make me feel good that they can brag, and then they friends, they be like, oh mom, when I go to this school, oh my god, your mama, that's your mama. So that also, just really just being able to knowing that I can do something that I taught myself with my own hands, that I love. It just keep me going, because otherwise, what's the alternative? Me going back into that job where I used to sit in the parking lot crying because I hated it there so bad. I can do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this thing. With that being said, what's some advice you would give a first year person who's starting to become a baker and they want to do cakes or whatnot? What advice would you give yourself? If you
Okay. First of all, know your why. Know why you are doing this. If you are doing anything because you saw it work for somebody else, that's going to be, like you setting yourself up for failure. You got to do it because you want to. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to mess up. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your clients. Hey, make sure, like when I say be honest, make sure you let them know I'm new. This is not something I'm comfortable with. But long as and you need to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Know your limitations and know your skill set. I know my skill set. If somebody called me and asked me for a Georgia shoe cake, I'm not gonna take that order because I can't do that right now. But so being honest with yourself can avoid that unsatisfied customers. So that's another thing. And also, never stop investing in you. If it's important enough for you to start it, make sure you take care of it, nurture it. You gotta always continue education. You gotta keep learning. You can't just get comfortable, because once you get comfortable, that's where that content comes in, and then you're not growing no more. So if you want to progress, and it's just don't come into anything with a competitive mind state. I think that's where a lot of people fail. They want to be competitive, like instead of collaborating. So much can be done. I have 2 hands. I can only do what I can do. I know how many orders I can take at me pushing myself to the 100% max. That's it. So it's no need. It's so many people who have events every day in this city.
Yeah.
I can't take every order. I'm not gonna try to take every order. So I like to keep that in mind. So I have a couple of people who I like to, when I'm overflown, I'm already overbooked. If somebody contact me, I'm happy to refer you to somebody. So it's this network that we build. Myself and my friend Lynn, we started this group, Cleveland Black Girls Bake Too. It's on Facebook. So yeah, we just all in there. Hey, anybody got a cake board out? The store is closed. and somebody will come to your rescue, or somebody can print me an image, or does anybody have this? So we have this network we created, and the only way it works is if we are not in there trying to be competitors.
Yeah.
We are just like a resource. We all know the game. We all going through the same thing. When the butter was so high, when the eggs were so high, we in there crying about it. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Hey, I found these. Yeah, oh, guess what? Giant Eagle got butter on sale, and everybody run there. So that is important. Get you a circle, get you a group, but make sure that y'all are aligned. Make sure y'all have the same goal, because it takes one snake to ruin the bunch. And then, and as sad as it sounds, it's always one. It's always one. You want to cut somebody out, or not looking at the bigger picture. Because keeping that bigger picture in mind is very important. Keep in mind, like, we can work together and make something great. We can work together. We are so much stronger together. It's so much resources when you pull resources. Like right now, a product that I use I think it's 3 of us. We all use the same product. We get it from this company, and they have a $700 order minimum, and then they charge, the shipping is crazy. So if you're trying to do $700 worth of product on your own and then pay the shipping, it's crazy. So we got together and we was like, well, I order this much, and we just kind of work together. We order a pallet, and it's coming out cheaper.
That's dope.
But some people won't do that because they too afraid to tell you where they buy something from. So you can't be.
Wow.
Yeah, that's important too. So yeah, that community, build your, even if you have to start it, which is what I had to do. Build that community, and lean on your counterparts. Like I always, when I do classes, I teach classes. I tell them, like, these not your competitors, your colleagues. We don't go into a building and work our job. This is your colleagues. They do the same thing. They work the same job. So yeah, invest in yourself, build that community, lean on your community, and then just do it.
That's great advice. I know somebody, they're like,
I hope they
notes.
write that down.
I hope so too.
And know your cost. That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, make sure you know how much it costs you to make what you make, so that you can know you're being profitable. Unless you're a charity, then that's different.
If you get in the business to be a charity, God bless you.
God bless you. Teach me.
So let me ask you this: what's the craziest order you ordered? Order someone try to place what you use? Like, oh, this is crazy right here.
Like a challenge.
Yeah,
like a challenging one. Oh, I've gotten like. Hey.
The craziest though.
Craziest one.
Like a Tower of Babel type joint. Like,
man, back then I had a client who ordered a 7-tier cake for her 50th birthday, and it was crazy because I had never done nothing larger than a 2-tier at the time. So I did do that. 7 tiers. It was so big. It was huge.
What's the transportation like? Logistics on that joint? Like,
I transported it individually in boxes, individual, and put it together at the venue because I learned my lesson. I tried to. This is again a learning curve. I thought that I put my 2-tier cake together. I put it in the car and I drop it off. So then my order for my first 3-tier, I put the 3-tier in the cake car. By the time I got there, it had crumbled, and I didn't realize that.
Whoa.
So I had to give her. It was a wedding cake too. Oh no, it was bad. But the girl was very understanding, and we was able to make it look good. But yeah, so I definitely that's one of those things you have to learn too. I'm trying to think. I don't know, man.
So many to choose from.
Yeah, babe, I don't know.
Because I didn't know what fondant was until like today. I'm like, what's fondant? Okay. I didn't know what it was. Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right.
I did have to do. I feel like I built a structure for something. It might have been an ice cream. It was that ice cream cone. It was a client ordered up for her kid's birthday. She wanted a standing up, oversized ice cream cone with the 2 scoops of ice cream, and that was really challenging because I had to build a structure. I was in Home Depot buying a drill and stuff, and it was pretty hard, but it came out nice.
It's like geometry is needed in there.
Sure. And
Physics.
if you don't know, then that's when so you got to take that time. When I say research, because of course I had to research everything. You have to take your time and do that background research, because you can look at something and be like, oh, it looks like what they did. I can do that, and then until you get in there and realize.
I don't know. I just imagine, like, you gotta understand physics, customer services, and like it's science, like it's all around, all encompassing business.
Yeah. Customer service is so important because, and I feel like as Black businesses, we are coming in at a disadvantage because we are coming in, a lot of us first generation entrepreneurs. We don't have a lot of people who we can go to, well, like when I was starting up and that can guide us. And I was even online, I remember like, what do I need to do to be a professional baker? And I'm going on Google looking this up. Because I didn't have those, like that knowledge, and I didn't really have anybody that I could ask. But customer service is so important because, and I know this is a saying that I say, I got it off of a Scandal. He told his daughter, we have to work twice as hard to be half as good.
That was good. So.
And and we do, because people come to you when for some reason, when people, and I just went on my Instagram and it went crazy with traction because I said, why is it that when people come to a small business, they automatically assume that they're going to get some type of hookup, or they don't have to respect the boundaries or the rules or the, like, if I'm a business and I'm put my expectations and my rules biggest day, you have to, this is my order minimum, I need this much lead time, this is what I require, I have to have this much of a deposit. Why is it that you can read that and I make you check that you acknowledge that you see this before you get to the next step of my website, and they still come, can you do it for this much, or I need it for tomorrow, completely just disregarding everything that I put in. But when we go to, if I want to go to Walmart closes at 9:00. You gonna make sure you get there before 9:00. You go and you grab this bag of beans off the rack. It say $4. You're gonna go to the register and you're gonna give them that $4. You're not gonna say, can you take $2? But when it comes to these small businesses, people feel like I ask the question, why is it that? And this is the feedback that I'm getting. This is what I gathered from this. They say that small businesses, because they have somebody they can talk to directly, it feels more personal. And where that when they get comfortable, that breeds content. So they feel like I can talk to you and you should understand. We got this. I got kids. You got kids. I'm trying to buy my. They want to come with the sob story. I want your cake, but I got 3 kids and I don't make. Can you do it for this? Though. But at the end of the day, my business model say, look, this is how much you got to pay for this, and I get it. And I'm talking big stuff, but I'm very understanding. Especially with my loyal clients who've been with me forever and who come to me time and time again. I'm very understanding, but people just don't give small businesses the same respect that they give large businesses. And I don't get that, because like, this is my business. Why do I not deserve respect? And that's what it boils down to. It's respect. And a girl said, I was reading a comment on my way out the door. She said, I do expect a little bit more. What did she? I forgot what she said, but she expects small businesses to go above and beyond, because I could take my business to Walmart, but I'm coming in. So it's what she said. I mean, she said, when I support a small business, I do expect a little bit more. I forgot what she said, but it's because she said, because I decided to support you. And I wanted to say, when I go to Rite Aid or whatever, if I need some cough syrup, I go to CVS, I buy this cough syrup. It's a transaction. They had this cough syrup. I wanted it. I bought it. I gave them money, and that was it. I didn't say I went and supported CVS. I went to CVS and I bought mine. They come to you and they think, oh, I'm supporting her, which they are, but I don't know why it's viewed as that. You want the service that I'm providing. It's a transaction. It's a business transaction. We build those relationships, and it becomes more personal if you allow it. But it's a business. It's a business transaction. And people, and I know that could sound harsh to people, and I don't want to sound like I don't appreciate the business, because I absolutely do. But it's a business. I'm in business to make money to support myself and my family and to leave something for my kids. I'm not in business to go broke, which I would if I let the sob stories move me, or if I let everybody slide. I have to now make it where people pay when they a week in advance for their balance, because people will come to me and like, oh, I know I owe you $120, all I got is $60. Like, playing with me like that. Like, what? I just sat here and spent 9 hours on this. You can't even give me what I asked for. So but the customer service, back to, I get off.
No, but that's good.
But we need that.
We need it. No, absolutely.
You gotta know. It's important, because people like to feel like, because again, you can go to the grocery store and get a cake for $19.99. If you're gonna pay me $150 for a cake, they want to feel like that. You gotta back it up. You gotta have the whole package. So customer service ties into that. Did you make your customer feel appreciated? Did you give your customer a good experience? So I do feel like that's into the package. You can't just slap a high price tag on it, and it's like, what's the value? So the customer service does play into the value, into the overall look, and then again, you just gotta go. You gotta go above and beyond because that's what people expect, and I hate that they don't just view it like a transaction sometimes, because that's what it is. But you just gotta go a little extra mile, and what I do is I'll take a business that I feel like has amazing customer service, and I kind of break down, why do I feel like this? What are they doing that makes me feel good about shopping?
Yeah.
What do they do that made me feel happy to spend my money with them? And I kind of implement that into my business.
I'm gonna take a note because this is good.
For sure.
Like this is real good. And the way you broke down about small business and how often I hear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was at the Pink Black Honors, and we were talking about that while we were in the back just waiting, and we were talking about that very same notion.
Mm-hmm.
That just because I'm a small business don't mean that you treat me as small.
Yeah.
And
sure.
that is something we're not talking about in these rooms or whatnot. That needs to be
talked
talked about.
Why that happens? The conversation in the post that I made was so crazy because it ranged all the way from, most people were saying that they just feel like, because they can, what they say is, when I go to Walmart, I can't talk to the CEO, but I can talk to you. And then they feel like, well, because once you understand that I'm supporting you, you should want to do me a favor. Like, what? So yeah,
it's audacity though. A little bit for me.
I'm like, it's audacity.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel like that 15 people before you can come to me and they pay the price and they follow the policies and procedures, but what makes it feel like because you don't want to, you don't?
Yeah. Don't get me started, because as a real estate agent, we can do all that and still not get paid. Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. That's another thing. That's why for real, is another subject for another day. But one of my graces is just that we can do all that customer service, draw you around, take it to this place, and you can at the end of the day like, I don't want to do it, and I cannot not get paid.
That's great.
And it's like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's like when people. I have clients who would get a cake, spend all this money, throw the extra bells and whistles on it, pay for it, and then charge it back. Yeah.
Tell me. You serious?
Oh yeah. They charge back. That's why I stopped using PayPal, because PayPal is good for that.
Wow.
PayPal, they don't protect the seller at all. It's to protect the customer. And then and they play crazy. You contact them. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that. I'm thinking of one girl who charged back a $375 order and told me, I didn't get no money back in my bank. I didn't do a charge back. I'm like, yes, you did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, people, you get those. You get those, and then you just gotta know. Like I said, now I don't use PayPal, and some people, they do look down on businesses when they say, "Oh, I'll take Zelle," because you can't charge that back. With these like Square, certain things, clients can do a charge back if they just feel like they want their money back.
We're in a scammy time of history.
We really are, though.
That's wild.
Girl, you should create you an ebook because you've learned a lot of lessons that, again, nobody knows.
Yeah, and don't talk about them though.
Do not say a mumbling word that you have come forth
Listen,
and let the people know that, this happened, and a lot of it is not even just your earlier stages. It's things that you still are coming across.
Yeah, what I didn't know was important was to have terms and conditions, and even if you don't know how to write them, use ChatGPT. So now in my invoices, I have terms and conditions that lay out everything, because that's what protects me. When those clients do those chargebacks, nope, right here on line this, line that, it said da. So those terms and conditions is very important to have. It's those certain small little things that you don't know. But I learned, once I lost a couple chargebacks, I learned my lesson.
How do you handle that though?
Yeah,
because it's upset. You saying it makes me upset.
That would make
it's not even me.
Like, I quit.
And you could drag them. Oh my goodness. Oh me, I used to post them on my page like, this person stole this from me. But now I don't have that problem now because I feel like I do a good job of like vetting my clients, and if I get a bad feeling from somebody, I won't take the order. I'll just tell them I'm booked or something because you can tell when some people are just on board. But yeah, it's hard, you know. But and then especially when it's like I already provided this service. I send PayPal pictures of them smiling with the cake. The girl like and then said she never authorized a transaction. And I'm like, that's funny because here's our communication. So it's disheartening. And I used to take it so personally, but now you know it's people scam everybody.
There's people that's all they do.
That's their lifestyle.
Wow. I listen. One of the great thing about the podcast, y'all, we like y'all be thinking we be here listening. I'll be over like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. Terms and conditions. All right,
man. I'm doing it tonight. What are you talking about?
Business class. Yeah, ChatGPT. Yes, that's become my best friend.
Don't be afraid to utilize it.
For sure.
Shoot.
For sure.
Okay, so we talk about the past, talk about the present, let's talk about the future. What does the future hold for you?
I am in this what do they call it? Season of change. So like, okay. I've been doing this for 12 years, 10 years, or 12. I don't even know how old I am. I've been doing this a while. So I feel like I'm looking at the future. Like I'm 36 now. I don't feel like I can be doing this in 10 more years. So I'm thinking about what's the next step. So I'm thinking about progression. What can I do? I can make cakes very well. So now my next thing is I think I'm trying to migrate from actually physically making them to the teaching aspect. Now I can teach people how to make the cakes, how to start up this business, how to run their business. So my goal is to go more into teaching. I want to do traveling. Like I did a small tour last year where I went. Where did I go? To Columbia, South Carolina, Atlanta. I forgot. Oh, Philadelphia. Traveling for classes. Yeah. So I want to get like a tour where I go and I sell tickets and I have people come who want to learn the business and want to learn how to do cakes. That's one of my goals. And then I had a studio. So my other thing that I want to do, and this is longer term, is my cake and sip studio. So you know, like a paint and sip, but it's a studio where you come and everybody get mini cakes and you bring your friends and you bring your drinks, and I lead you or I hire someone and train someone down the line. And you make cakes like a little social gathering type of thing.
That's different.
Host parties and just events like that. So that's something else I want to do for the future. And then I also want to get like a mobile truck where like a cake, because I still love baking. And I still want people to be able to experience that for me because it's something I'm passionate about. So it's like a cupcake truck, build your own little cupcake, mini cake. You know, I have all my toppings and frostings. You pick what you want. So yeah, I got a couple of things I'm trying to put together.
So let me ask you this: so like mentorship is one of the things I like to people understand because I know growing up, and like growing up, entrepreneurship was only for white people growing up. We didn't. Back in the day, getting a job, RTL, you was a man. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Now, you know what I'm saying. Now after the pandemic, everybody like I want to be entrepreneurship. You know, I want to be an entrepreneur now. But I say mentorship is a big thing. Like you said, it will help you with a purpose. Yeah. With mentorship, that's something that you can see yourself doing in the future.
Oh, absolutely. I want to do I have people reach out to me all the time. Do you do mentorship? Do you offer mentorship? That's definitely something that I want to do because I know the value of it. And I know how much value it could have added to me had I had one. So absolutely, I definitely have that on my short-term goal list.
Okay.
Short-term list. So, and I'm gonna do it the right way too. Because when I do something, I do it right.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's good. Excuse me. With that being said, then we'll get into our separate questions then. And I love these questions because your episode 241, I love each and every answer. They're good. They're good. And one of the things that we have heard time and time again that Cleveland is not a collaborative place. We hear about Atlanta, we hear about all the different places where it's said that these places can come together, but Cleveland, unfortunately, is not known for that. But I feel like we're going to do a renaissance where we're doing more collaboration. But how you feel like we can help move that narrative going forward?
It's easier said than done. Everybody got to get on the same page and let go of that crab in a barrel mindset. And I think what it is people hate to see somebody doing better than them. But you don't even really know if people are really doing better.
You really don't.
Because what do you really know? You know what people people show you.
No people show you.
But if you think about it, like I was saying earlier, we're going through the same thing. We're dealing with the same hurdles. We're dealing with the same things. How it's just so beneficial to be able to have like-minded people who can bounce ideas. Maybe I've been through what you're going through right now. Maybe I can help you. Maybe you know what is needed for me to get to the next step. But instead of doing that and just coming together, people just rather just be like, hold everything to the chest and want to. So we just have to get out of that dog eat dog. Oh, I'm not about to support them. I'm not helping him. Nobody helped me. Like, okay, nobody helped you, and look
where it got you.
So yeah, we just let go of that, and of course, it's easier said than done, and it's going to take a while because it's conditioned. We are conditioned to be that way from long back in the day where people just fought for, they had to fight for whatever scraps and just had to just. So we're not there no more. We're not fighting for scraps. We are trying to progress. We're trying to like build wealth for our families, and the only way to do that, we have to come together. You can't really do it by yourself. And once they realize that, I think that's what's needed. People just gotta be a little bit more open-minded. Let go of that. This is my competitor mindset. It's so, yeah.
No, that's a great answer.
Yeah,
that's a great answer. So let me ask you this: with that being said, who would you like to collaborate with in the future? What corporation, what entity, or people would you like to collaborate with in the future? So I can see, Betty Crocker hit you up, you know what I'm saying?
And I shoot my shot. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, hey, I would love to work with you. Let me work with you. Yeah. But like, I feel like I want to do maybe like the Boys and Girls Club. I would love to do something with them. And it's also like there's a company that does something similar. But I also like hospitals, kids that maybe are in the hospital terminal or that's ill, they may be celebrating their birthday in the hospital.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to like maybe rainbow babies like provide cakes and stuff so they can have a celebration, because there's some kids who don't get to leave a hospital, and some kids who have to be, they're not able to go have a party outside, and maybe never their parents maybe not can afford that. So something like that. I forgot what the name of the company is, but yeah, like the Boys and Girls Club, because people young are getting younger and younger entrepreneurs, and they drill nursing. You could be a nurse, or you could be a hairstylist, or but people don't talk about like being a baker to the young kids. So I would love to expose the children to that, and maybe they could take something from it. When I had my studio, I did a class for teenagers, I think 12 to 18, and the girls in there did so good, and they were just I'm like, man, this is good. Like, people, you can make a lot of money doing this. You can meet a lot of people. I've had so many opportunities from just making cakes that I would never had if I wasn't a baker. I've been in rooms I would have never been in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would the Boys and Girls Club, and then of course Beyonce. I would love to make a cake with her. I love my fiance hates that I love her. I love Lotto too. Yeah, and in the NBA. I mean, if y'all need like a baker or something.
That was up. Hey, we have Ma Crump on here. What, a week ago or something like that?
Yeah.
Hey, we got Ma.
Yeah.
Come on. We need some cakes down at the.
Maybe have those big events.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was up.
I would love to get myself in some of those spaces.
Yeah. That's dope.
That's good. All right. Well, honey, I know you have so much that you have done, are doing, and gonna do. So when it comes to legacy, what would you like the legacy to be for you, Tiara? And what would you like the legacy to be for your businesses?
Yeah, I never thought about that, and that's kind of sad now that I think about it. Legacy.
That's why I like the question, because I don't think about like.
Yeah, you don't really.
You don't think about it, right?
Yeah, you don't. But you did happen to mention it earlier that, hey, this isn't just for me.
Yeah, it's for my kids. So I got 4 children, and I definitely everything I do, I don't want my kids having to when they graduate from high school. I don't want them to be like, oh, I got to get right to work. And if they do, maybe you can work for the business that we built. It can be keep it in the family. But I guess that's what what I would want for me to be able to set this foundation so when I'm long gone, my kids don't have to worry about fitting into spaces that weren't created for them.
Wow.
And they can maybe pick up where I left off and keep this thing going, because it was my baby. I started it from the ground up. And once I'm gone, I don't want it to just die there. So maybe they can continue that for me. And then as far as that's for my business, like, you know, take it to the next level, bring your fresh young mind, because young people got a lot of insight. So I would love to see where they could take it. But as far as me, I don't know. I have to come back to y'all on that. That's crazy. Wow.
And one of the reasons I like that question so much, because I remember I was watching a Nessie Hustle interview he had did before he became Nessie Hustle. He was talking about all the things he wanted to accomplish. And I'm looking back, I'm like, then he accomplished that joint, and he went even further than what he said he wanted to do. So, you know, and like the realization, we all gonna pass away. That's the realization. But we don't think about how the impact we're gonna have.
Yeah, my kids see me day in and day out. This is what I'm doing. I work from home, right in my kitchen where they eat their cereal. So they see me doing that, and I don't want it to be for nothing. So I hope that they can, and that's why I'm very big on making sure that they see me in my element and they see what I'm doing and how I do it, and keeping them involved in it as much as possible, because, you know, this is my job and people are paying me a lot of money. I don't want kid hands in it, but, you know, I do keep them active in it. So I hope that this is something that they, once we get the ball rolling with those bigger projects, that they can keep it going. And I want to just make an impact. I want to be more than just a cake baker. I want to, because I am so much more than that. But it's easy to let myself get lost in that because it takes up so much of my time. So aside from that, I don't know. I gotta think about that. That's crazy. Y'all gotta be thinking that.
Well, listen. Okay, so before I get to my final question, I am curious to know, because, like you said, making cakes, it takes up a lot of time. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs, we ask this question: how do you find the balance between, you know, the work and your family life? Have you accomplished that balance, you would say? Or
I would say I'm a work in progress.
Okay,
I do dedicate so much of my time to the business. And because I work from home, I don't have a separate space. It's easy to blur those lines. But I do like to make sure that my kids know that I'm always going to show up for them. And even if that means I might have a order that I got to, that's when I sacrifice that sleep. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to show up for my kids and I just stay up tonight, which is not healthy. It's very unhealthy. But I do it because I don't want my kids to ever feel like they're not important, or I didn't make time for them. And because I had to make a cake for a stranger or something like that. So it's hard to do, and I'm still working on that. But I do like my vacations. So I do like to plan a little bit of vacations. I plan some with the family and then some with just my fiance and I, where we just unplug. I leave my business phone at home, and that's something that I'm able to do now. Because the cakes have allowed me that luxury. So, I like to if I can, I take a little weekend getaway. I might even pencil in, like, block one weekend off the month where I'm not gonna put anything. I make sure it aligns with my fiance's weekend off, and we'll take the kids somewhere, a car trip, or we'll go somewhere. So it's not easy. It's not easy to find that balance. But if you don't make time for your family, it's easy for them to feel like they aren't important, and I never want that.
Yeah, that's good. So putting family first. And I get that.
Yeah, especially while they're young. My youngest is 4, and I have my daughter that's 10, and I got an 8-year-old and 13-year-old who wouldn't care if I was there or not. But the younger ones, my girls, they love me. They love when I'm there, and I want them to know that I will show up. So I will. Yeah. If that means I don't go to sleep or I have to, just work an all-nighter, I'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. The sacrifice.
Good.
I get that. Yeah. That's cool. All right. Get back to our second question. I just wanted to know.
That's good. That's good. We're gonna add it. We're gonna add it to the mix now. We got 5 questions now.
There we go. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So I mean, you've given us a great amount of just information. The back the background history, that people don't know what all goes on behind the scenes. It's not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy, y'all. So, Tiara, when it comes to whether it's something that maybe you didn't get to mention thus far, or just kind of recapping what you've given us throughout this episode, what are 3 takeaways someone watching or viewing should be able to gather from today's episode?
Okay. Don't be afraid to try something new. That's very important. Don't be afraid. If you haven't, don't be afraid to step out and try new things. If you haven't seen it done, try it. Like, maybe you could be that person. And another thing which I did not mention, which I feel like is very important, and now it's becoming more on the forefront, is prioritizing your own mental health, because it's easy to get caught up in your business, and then when you, like you was asking about the balance, you put yourself on the back burner, and what that creates is burnout. And this job, like being an entrepreneur, is extremely anxious. It can create so much anxiety, pressure. You always up against, like, me personally, I'm always up against a timeline. I'm always beating the clock, because if this event is at 3 o'clock, I have to have it done. So that just creates a lot of stress and anxiety. You got to take care of you mentally and physically. I go hours. Like I said, I go 48 hours with no sleep. That's insane. Like, what? I don't eat. I'm not drinking. So if you make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally, you need to talk to somebody. Like, people, it's more acceptable now, but like, talk to somebody, take care of your mental, take care of your physical, and then also just try to have fun with what you do. Don't let it be, even if it is your job, don't let it consume you. Have fun, keep it fresh, make sure you keep in mind why you started it, and that way it can always be something you love to do, as opposed to something you have to do.
I like that. That's a great way to end it. Great takeaway too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love this.
No, we appreciate you. It's just
this.
shout out to Brandon, man, because you know what I'm saying.
Support this though. Yes.
Listen, me and him, we go back. We're like, come on, man. Hey, we're gonna get y'all on and whatnot. So we definitely appreciate y'all. Really do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So most important, the whole interview, where people learn more about you, where can they book their cakes, where can they get mentorship, where can we get all things.
You can follow me on social media. I'm on social media across all platforms, Cupcake Mama 216. My website is cupcakemama.biz. I'm always available. You can reach out to me in the DM, or just drop my contact info is on the pages. I'm always available. You can hire me I can do special occasions, corporate events. Reach out. I got you.
So listen, for all my ladies people, you're watching this. Boom, it's right there. It's being right in the show notes, so you ain't got to go too far. So listen, then got boom, right there, all right? We thank y'all so much for coming on. And like literally just dropping in, not even for Baker, just for entrepreneurs as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting terms and conditions today. I'm about to chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. These things you don't think about.
Like you say,
that's good stuff.
You got to protect your business.
For sure.
That's good stuff right there. You got to pay some bills, guys. April 31st, guys. South Eagles having
August 31st.
Yes, August. Thank you. I said April.
Yes,
Lord Jesus. August 31st. Ooh, thank God, Brittany. August 31st, guys. South Eagles having a wine and dine festival. Yes, the Ford Bistro. 2 UIs are coming together and having a food, wine tasting, and shout out to B Titty. He's gonna be emceeing that joint or whatnot.
Yes.
So it's gonna be a good time, and you can get your tickets now because they're going fast.
That's right.
2 UIs will be there. If you don't have 2 UIs, I don't know what you're doing with your life or whatnot.
For
It's
sure.
the best wine in the world, hands down. Anything else I'm gonna miss with that?
And you guys, please tune in to my podcast, Beauty Told. Again, guys, giving you weekly episodes, whether it's relational, whether it's financial, whether it's just lifestyle advice. Myself, and from time to time, having great, phenomenal guests. We are just taking a topic, expounding on it, and giving you just some of the pitfalls we went through. So again, hopefully you don't have to.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys tune in. I appreciate all the love and support thus far, and look forward to seeing you there.
Lastly, guys, we want you to take time out as you're looking at those show notes. Take the time out to hit the different people who are part of this podcast that are helping make this podcast great. Everything from photography, videography, to help virtual assistant, to if you need a host, South Sam. just all these great people are helping make the podcast great. Please do me a favor and take out time to learn about their business and how you can be a part of that. Lastly, I want to thank you. Yes, you the person watching, you the person listening, because as of right now, we're at 7.8 million views. Ooh. Now, I want you to understand why it's so significant, because this is Cleveland. It doesn't happen in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? That's unheard of. And not just that, the subscribers and just the great guests. And 241, guys. Most podcasts don't make it past episode 20. And here we are doing it, I don't know how many times over. Math was never my strong point. But no, that's a lot, okay? And God is good, that's all I can say. And we just want to thank you for listening to great stories like Tiara's and just the great guests we have had on this far and whatnot. So please continue to like, share, comment, and we're going to keep bringing y'all these hits as long as we can. So, guys, 241, road to 250, it's almost here. And we just want to thank y'all for just being here for us, all right? We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
You knew I was going to do it.
Thank you.